Hi everyone, Nina here. Back when I first started playing Marvel Snap, I made a video about all the changes I would like to see in the game. It was things like having a history tab to see all the previous actions and cards played, an auto mute option, the ability to undo end turn if your opponent hadn't ended their turn. I'll leave a link to the video if you're interested in watching it. I'm happy to report that none of my suggestions have made it to the game, although Second Dinner might be considering adding individual player stats to the game in the future, judging by the questions in the survey they send out to everyone's inbox. The History tab has mainly been solved by the introduction of the Deck Tracker by Unsolved GG, which is available on both PC and Android. I don't think an auto mute option is being considered. If anything, I think the devs might be thinking of adding more emotes to the game. Yippee! In this video, I wanted to suggest some new quality of life changes that, in my opinion, can greatly improve the player experience. I'm not going to talk about issues like card acquisition or monetization because those are very loaded subjects, and frankly, I don't make games myself, so I don't really know how things like that can be balanced, so I'll just be talking out of my ass. I'm going to cover things that I know will make the Marvel Snap experience nicer and more player-friendly. First of all, I would like the ability to undo end turn if my opponent hadn't ended their turn. I know, I suggested this in my previous video already. But hear me out. I know this might be hard to program, but I at least would like the option to undo end turn if my opponent snaps. Often, when your opponent snaps, you can kind of predict that they have some kind of game-winning card or condition, be it Arrow, Shang-Chi, Leech, or Magneto. Opponent snapping equals new information for me, and I should be able to base my plays on all the available information. With the current snapping system, whereby I'm trapped to either stay in the game or retreat after my opponent snaps, the optimal play every single game is to wait until the very end of every turn to see if my opponent decides to snap before playing my cards. And this kind of ruins the game for me, because one of my favorite things about Marvel Snap is how fast the games are. I don't want to have to stretch every game out to 7 minutes long just so that I wouldn't get trapped by my opponent's snap. So please, Second Dinner, let us undo end turn should our opponent snap. The second suggestion is to add some new features to the collection page and to make the collection page more user-friendly in general. The current collection page is very hard to navigate and sort through. Upgrading cards takes way longer than it should, and we're not given enough search and customization options. I would love to be able to sort the cards by amount of the boosters I have to see what cards I can upgrade the most. It would be amazing if we could filter the cards by series, so we can keep track of our collection without having to use a third-party app or website. I also want to be able to search my cards by their variant, such as Pixel, Chibi, Artgerm, Peach Momoko, etc., by background, like gold, inked, or prism, or by particle effect, such as Crackle, Glimmer, Stardust, etc. If we have enough boosters of upgrading a card fully, I would like the option of upgrading it to infinite quality with one button. It would save so much time. Lastly, I would love to be able to choose the card border we like the most once a card has been upgraded to infinite quality. Everyone has a preferred border for each card. I, for example, love the look of the plain grey border for inked cards, which means that once I get the combination of ink and particle effect for a particular variant, I am forced not to upgrade it in order to keep the border that I want. So it would be amazing if we were allowed to choose the border once we upgrade a card all the way. Another way to spruce up the collection page and actually make players spend more time in the game would be adding a little bio information to the cards. There are so many Marvel characters I wouldn't even known about if it weren't for the game. I would love to learn a little bit more about them all. For example, did you know that Angela is actually named Aldrich, Odin's daughter, the firstborn child of Odin and Freya, who was kidnapped and killed by the Queen of Angels? The Queen's handmaiden, who was ordered to dispose of Angela's body, discovered that she was actually alive and raised her as one of the angels under the name of Angela. See, this is a super interesting lore about every single character, and it would be so cool if you had little snippets of it in the game. Another great addition to the game would be a PvE mode. Not everyone likes the pressure of a ranked mode, and sometimes it's fun to just relax and play against the computer for a bit. We could have a themed PvE dungeon run every season where we have to complete missions. How cool would it be if we got to assemble a deck full of Avengers and try to defeat Thanos? Another fun PvE feature would be solving puzzles, similar to the puzzle lab in Hearthstone during the Boomsday Project expansion. I did a video recently solving Marvel Snap puzzles created by a Reddit user, and it got me thinking how fun it would be if we had something like that in the game. Examples could be make every location have the same power, mirror your opponent's power, survive for an X amount of turns, fun challenges like that. And these PvE modes can be an additional way for the game to reward us with in-game currency or cosmetics. I have asked my Discord server what quality of life changes they would like to see, and someone suggested having a preview of how much power you would have in every location after playing your cards, but before pressing end turn. This would definitely make the game experience smoother because not everyone can or is willing to do the maths. And sometimes the combination of locations and cards like Onslaught Citadel, Iron Man Mystique, and Onslaught can produce such crazy numbers, it would be very helpful to see the total power you would have without pulling out an industrial calculator. Although I appreciate it might be hard to have a preview when there's an RNG factor involved, for example with cards like Titania or Jubilee on board, or when the location is changed by Scarlet Witch or Reality Stone. So these are my thoughts on how the game experience can be improved for us players. I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. What game changes would you like to see? As always, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, if there's any Marvel Snap topics you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. And I'll see you next time. Bye!